We talk about a lot of really big games on GameStop TV, but there are a lot of great games that simply don't get the attention they deserve.
This is true, and it's a good thing that we have Cole Watson making it his mission each month to expose a few hidden gems and share them with us all.
Let's see what he's got for us this time. Take it away, Cole.
Thank you, Chris and Marisha. By the way, Chris is 150 years old. I don't know if you guys knew that. He looks incredible. I don't know if he just exfoliates or does some vague dark magic ritual, but it is working. Anyhow, welcome to my small corner of GameStop TV. If you're new to this segment, I, Cole Watson, give you a rundown of a handful of upcoming games, specifically these. There's also a lot of forced comedy and awkward transitions, but hey, you know what they say. Look, an intro graphic. The first game that simulated its way into this segment without warning is Project Cars 2, the follow-up to Bandai Namco's 2015 racing sim of the same name, minus the 2, obviously. After the relative success of the first installment and a subsequent crowdfunding effort for its successor, Project Cars 2 was officially announced via trailer during the 89th Academy Awards earlier this year. You know, the Oscars, the thing that matters for some reason. Slightly Mad Studios are going all out with this one, with the game planned to include 182 cars, a redesigned weather system, a brand new physics engine, a new esports-friendly ranking system, and, most impressively, the largest track roster for a console racing game thus far. There are 46 tracks of pure racing simulation fury crammed onto just one disc. What more could you want? What do you want, 47 tracks? Alright, fair enough. Project Cars 2 will be blurring the line between reality and the Cars universe on September 22nd. Good news, Linkin Park fans. Your new metal-inspired mecha OCs are finally coming to life in the form of Gundam Verses on the PS4. Oh, what's that? You thought that the Gundam franchise started in 1979 with the Mobile Suit Gundam anime developed by Yoshiyuki Tomino, which pioneered the real robot subgenre of anime that spawned countless spin-offs and rehashes that's become a significant cornerstone in not only the world of anime, but for animation as a whole, and that new metal didn't start picking up steam until the late 1990s, let alone Linkin Park, who didn't release their breakthrough debut album Hybrid Theory until the year 2000? Well, you'd be completely correct. I don't know why I would have assumed otherwise. North America and Europe tend to get the giant robot shaft when it comes to the localization of Gundam titles, so it's big news that we'll actually be able to get our hands on this unique 2v2 fighter. Pre-ordering this one at GameStop gets you the BN876B Hot Scramble Gundam, the ASW GO8 Gundam Barbados Lubus, I assume I'm pronouncing that correctly, and the GN005 Gundam Virtue. Don't ask me what any of those abbreviations or numbers mean, because I don't even think the developers know that. Catch this thing before they make the next Tokyo Gundam statue functional this September 29th. At number 3, we have Farming Simulator 17 Platinum Edition, which I'm being told is the most platinum game legally available without a special permit. What do you do in Farming Simulator exactly? Well, farm stuff. You do farm stuff. Ride around in a tractor, tend to crops, curse the very existence of the sun and its unforgiving, ironically cold glare, wear overalls, the works. Now, those things may not sound particularly action-packed or even interesting at all depending on who you are, to which I would respond, yeah, exactly. The Farming Simulator games haven't amassed a huge cult following in the United States and in most of the population of Germany because they're AAA first-person shooters or meticulously crafted independent passion projects. They've garnered attention because they're satisfying, simplistic, and don't require any specific time commitment. Sure, it's easy to make jokes about a farming video game, or it would be if my editor didn't cut all of them, but if I may impart one lesson to you in this segment, it is this. You don't have to justify your taste in games to anyone. Enjoy what you enjoy, even if it's literally a game about hard manual labor. Yeah, I think that... Oh god. I was so caught up in doling out sage wisdom that I forgot to talk about what's unique to the Platinum Edition. Okay. You got South America, all the unique South America stuff. You can harvest sugarcane with a special sugarcane harvester thing, but you got a bunch of product placement from actual brands of farming equipment. I'm just reading the website at this point. Comes out November 14th. Whew. Okay, moving on. Up next, we have Pro Evolution Soccer 2018, which is a game about, you guessed it, football, but like the other kind. This is the 17th installment in the Konami-produced soccer title, and holy cow, that is a lot of soccer games. 17 of them? Let me put this in perspective. There are only 10 Metallica albums. Right, I thought there were like 1,000 of those things, but there are only 10, and PES has nearly double that number of games. It's crazy. What's new about this year's iteration of the world-renowned soccer hit? Well, in addition to an updated UI, shinier graphics, and online co-op, there is the all-new Master League game mode, which allows you to play as your respective team's manager. Why is that exciting? I'll tell you why. Because you, as the player, as the manager, get to participate in locker room scenes and pre-game interviews. At long last, there is finally a video game that understands my insatiable need to inspire young athletes by giving a motivational speech that will then be misquoted by high school gym teachers across the country, set to a swelling orchestral score that only plays in their heads. The game mode isn't exactly like that, but you know, you can pretend. This one will be enthusiastically announcing goals in your living room on September 12th. Lastly, we have Resident Evil Revelations. Now, this is the third time that this game is released, so don't panic, you're not currently going through a strangely specific form of deja vu. Capcom is re-releasing it completely on purpose, so it's a little closer to Deja Intendu, if you will. Originally released for the 3DS in 2012, and again for the then current generation home consoles in 2013, Resident Evil Revelations thrusts you face first into the horrifying respective realities of Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield, as they attempt to thwart the efforts of a bioterrorist group to infect the world's oceans with a deadly, deadly virus. Seems like it would kill more fish than anything else, but I don't claim to know how bioterrorism works. Its original 3DS release took home a number of awards for its outstanding graphics and innovative gameplay, with it being the first 3DS game outside of Japan to utilize the 3DS's Circle Pad Pro peripheral. This was also the first Resident Evil title that allowed players to move and shoot at the same time, which was initially avoided in the franchise to keep the games from moving too quickly for its respective survival horror genre. However, by slowing down the player's movements and creating more complex paths for the enemies to take, the developers were able to flesh out the concept nicely without sacrificing its spooky aura. This was also the first Resident Evil title that you could play entirely on the toilet, which is its own type of survival horror. You can pick up this one right now, so do it before it startles you as you hurriedly walk from the living room to the bedroom just after you've turned off the lights. Unless I've gone blind from scurvy again, that appears to be all the games I have for you this month. For more information on any of these titles, speak with a guest advisor or concentrate really hard until you just give up and Google it.
You know, Cole isn't the only person bringing us a few hidden gems each month.
Well, there's only one Hidden Gems game segment each month, so...
You're right, but I am not talking about games. I'm talking about toys and apparel and collectibles.
Okay. I get what you're doing there. You're talking about Eric.
I am talking about Eric.
Well, in that case, here's Eric to show us some of the coolest collectibles you can check out this month.
Hey, thanks guys. I appreciate you saying my name so many times in a row right there. Now nobody can forget who I am. But it's true, I'm gonna look at some of the coolest new items you can pick up in GameStop stores and on GameStop.com throughout this month. First up, I want to talk about a trio of awesome geeky items for your kitchen. The first one is this 20-sided die ceramic mug. The mug actually has a lid, so it's going to keep your favorite beverage warm while you're playing D&D with your friends or whatever your favorite tabletop game is. Next up, another cup. This is the Nuka-Cola pint glass. On the front, you've got that Nuka-Cola logo. On the back, this awesome pinup art and the slogan, Zap Your Thirst. For any fans of the Fallout series, Nuka-Cola is going to be a very familiar thing. If you're a fan of that series, make sure you pick up a couple of these pint glasses. And finally, out of this grouping, I want to talk about the Shark Attack serving bowl. Number one, that's one of the most adorable sharks I've ever seen. But number two, it's hilarious. If you're having a party, I'm saying fill this up with some goldfish crackers and let people reach into the shark's mouth to get some fish. This is glazed ceramic and it is microwave and dishwasher safe. Next up, let's check out three of DC Comics' mightiest heroes. This is Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman Icon Heroes statues. These are the rebirth versions. They're only available at GameStop. Each one is about 8 inches tall. They are hand painted for extra meticulous detail, and they are super limited runs. Only 2,100 of the Batman were made, 2,000 of the Superman, and only 1,800 of the Wonder Woman were made. Now, inside each box is a hand-numbered certificate of authenticity, letting you know what number out of the run your statue was. So if you want one of these, make sure you pick one up while supplies last, because they're not going to stick around for very long. All right, moving from DC to Marvel, I've got another statue here. This is the Diamond Selects Toys Gallery Series statue for Luke Cage. And this is the Luke Cage from the Netflix series, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Defenders, all of that cool stuff. And you can see all of the detail in this statue. For a great price, you're gonna get a very big statue with a lot of detail in it. You can see him standing up on a roof with his foot up on a roof vent there. And even when you look at his hoodie, you can see all these small little bullet holes. If you're a fan of Luke Cage or any of those series, you're gonna wanna add this one to your collection. All right, that's all I've got for today. If you'd like to pick up any of the items I talked about, make sure you go to your local GameStop store or check out GameStop.com or the GameStop app. All right, Chris and Marisha, back to you.
Some pretty cool stuff there, Eric. All right, and here's something else pretty cool. For a limited time, PowerUp Rewards Pro members can save $5 on Funko boxes. Now, these guys are packed with theme selections from awesome Funko items. This is a great way to add to your Funko collection without, breaking the bank in the process. And this, it's fighting game themed. Oh, that's so awesome.
You get Street Fighter and Tekken.
Yeah, there's a little angry Akuma down there. It's so cute.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and raid the interior of this box, but when we come back, we'll check out 2 new games from Bethesda. Stick around.